just found out today that people go to rehab because they have a shopping addiction. Like, legit, go to rehab, check themselves in, live there for 30 days, all because they're addicted to shopping. I thought the addiction was just cute and not that big of a deal, but apparently not.
You've had a stressful week, so you convince yourself, a quick trip to Sephora or Zara Ulta will make me feel better. But then you check your bank account later and think to yourself, fuck, I just made my situation worse than it already is. But what if I told you retail therapy is not therapy at all, girl? It is a trap to keep you broke. To social media and our society as a whole, we have made retail therapy like the quickest way to get into debt. TikTok normalizes treating yourself, which I'm all for treating yourself, but the excessive self-care. Basically, our society just normalizes spending a lot of money and getting into debt and basically falling into this cycle of just never-ending purchases and overconsumption. It doesn't really help that social media like TikTok, YouTube, even Amazon will always be at your fingertips. The whole treat yourself has basically been a slogan for many brands. Want is your money, so you have to keep that in mind. But why are we even in this cycle to begin with? The whole psychology behind shopping, it just makes us feel good. It boosts our dopamine levels. We get this hit of, oh my god, we feel happy, we feel good, I don't need anything else. But then retailers and advertisers know how to activate that part of your brain. So what this marketing does, it basically triggers you to keep buying. Ads, notifications, subscription emails, newsletters, basically pushing these notifications in your face so you don't even realize that you're basically running on autopilot when you're shopping. And it triggers that feeling, and then you're in this cycle of stress, so you shop, and then you look back, but then automatically you feel guilty, and then you just repeat the same thing again. But I'm gonna tell you all right now, girl, it is an entire lie. It will not heal your stress, your sadness, your boredom. It will just distract you. Distractions are sometimes good, but when it involves your own money, it's just gonna go downhill. The feel better promise that is short term, the long term effect is that is financial stress. And that what these brands do is profit off of your emotions. They profit off of your pain and not your healing. So for me, for example, when I was really sad and depressed about multiple things going on within my life, immediately after work, when I would get paid, I would hit the fucking mall and just shop away. Victoria's Secret, Urban Outfitters, Starbucks, they would take all of my money. And it doesn't help that these stores are all in one place. So the mall is just an immediate trigger for me because I know damn well when I get out of that mall, my bank account will be negative. And then I look back at all of my purchases and I think to myself, holy crap, I just overconsumed. Obviously, I don't need any of the clothes or accessories or shit that I buy, but it keeps me happy temporarily. But then I realized, holy fuck, like I have a serious addiction to shopping. See, I can understand getting into debt when it comes to like loans for college, if you own a car, but being in debt specifically just from overconsuming is just a little bit too extra in my opinion. To me, if you're like, tens of thousands of dollars in consumer debt, then you definitely need to be aware. You need to take the first step and be aware that you have a problem. And that the only way to fix that is to actually deal with your emotions head on, because what you keep doing will keep you stuck into the same cycle and it's just going to be never ending. When I took the first step to realize that I had a shopping addiction problem, I just asked myself how was I feeling at the moment. No, we are going to delay our gratification 24 to 48 hours before buying something, because that feeling of putting it in the cart and then waiting on it will go away after those 24, 48 hours pass by. The thing is to actually, I don't know, maybe go outside and touch some fucking grass. There's just a lot of healthier ways to deal with these emotions. I would definitely recommend journaling, walking, talking to a friend, or doing something creative with your hands. All of these things are free. I had to replace my habit of shopping with something else. So the habit that I replaced it with was journaling, going outside, and getting really expressive through my creative outlets. To kind of treat every addiction the same way, it's not going to be some overnight thing that will immediately go away, but it definitely does take a lot of small steps to get the result you want. Of questions like, do I really need this thing? Will it bring back any value to my life? And if I answered no to any of these questions, then I would tell myself I literally do not need it at all. I also thought really, really hard about the consequences to my actions if I just kept buying a bunch of bullshit that was not really going to benefit my future self, that wasn't going to build my savings. I would be so surprised about how many people don't actually have savings. A lot of people my age, I'm 20, a lot of people my age are in debt because they're consuming too much shit. Frame treating myself as treating myself by building my savings, investing, and buying something that will actually add long term value to my life. If I really wanted to buy that thing badly, I would think to myself, I need to buy experiences and not just tangible things. What I mean by buying experiences, I mean, traveling. That's an experience that I'm trying to do now because I'm definitely not going to have time when I'm older. Things that would bring value to my hobbies. So, like I said, I'm trying to get back into drawing and painting again, so I would buy a bunch of art supplies, knowing that it will bring back value because it's going to improve my skills. And skills cannot be taken away from you. I have so many purchases that I regret, especially when it comes to clothes and like fashion. I'm into fashion, I love it so much. But one of my biggest regrets is those like Steve Madden like buggy boots. I still have them. They are pretty, they are nice, but I don't wear them as much as I want to because everyone else has those same exact pair of boots. I am very proud of myself for not falling for the whole like blind box item trend that's going on, like the Labubus, the like Stanley cups that was really, really popular. I'm really glad I'm not a part of that. I'm really, really glad I was never part of that cult, but these are the type of things that people get sucked into. So the next time that you go shopping with your friends or even by yourself, for example, ask yourself, do you really need this or do you just need this to escape your emotions? All retail therapy is just emotional spending, and it's completely up to you whether or not you want to take control of your emotions. That real therapy is healing, but retail therapy is just spending and getting into debt.